Okay, we're live. Waiting for Tina.
Yeah, the wind is, huh? How cold it was today.
Yeah, no tree damage. That was good news for me. So that was good.
Yeah, I just had some branches flying around. That's
Yeah, I've
about it.
got pine branches everywhere, but that's okay. I can live with that.
Hi, Kel.
Hi.
How's it going?
Elvis is very vocal tonight, so I didn't want to have the bird go crazy on the
Elvis is
Arena.
singing away.
Yeah. It's absolutely quiet during the day until I get on the phone, and then all he does is talk.
Who's this?
He likes to talk.
He's trying to catch your attention.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some work now. Right. Yeah. Guess I should let that go. So, Bruce, that thing on Oxbridge. Any idea how that happened?
How they pulled that off?
Yeah.
They had a team get together, and I think Mike Soda helped get that to pull off. But I don't know how they're gonna pull it off.
Well, put it this way, they didn't do one last time. That I'm sure of. Second of all, I don't even know if they have a plan. Sounds like they
No,
don't.
they put a plan together in order to get it done. Hold on, let me let Tina in.
Okay. Well, ours was exercised, operating, and functional. So
But they're looking at doing 750 people a day, 5 days a week, for a continued period of time. So if they can do that, good for them. That's a lot of work.
yep, that's fine. It's only a 20-minute drive, I guess, depending on where they do it. They use the high school. It's fairly new. Maybe they could do that. I don't know. But it sounded to me like they were asking for help. So I don't know.
I think they've got MEMA or FEMA.
Okay.
Okay, guys, it's 7 o'clock. Camera's on.
Got it.
Right, being 7 o'clock on March 2nd, I'd like to open up our Board of Health meeting. Myself, Tricia LeClaire, Chair, Kelly McGovern, Vice Chair, Vinnie Forty, our member, Bruce Wilson, our health agent. I saw Robbie Griffin's on here. He's our tobacco agent and food agent. And Tina Griffin, our minutes clerk. So the first thing on the agenda is to go over our minutes.
I actually went over them, so
I went
Okay.
over it already too.
Yeah, I'm good.
okay.
All right.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from February 9th, 2021 as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, well, that was quick. So the next thing on the agenda is coronavirus updates.
Okay, we have 200 doses of Moderna vaccine in the fridge at the fire station. We're planning to do a small clinic for the elderly housing projects on the 15th and 16th. The 15th would be for the Rentham Manor residents, and then the 16th would be for the Depot Court residents. Vaccines are in place. Dates scheduled with Esther, myself, two of the EMTs, Chris and Leanne from our office will help with some of the paperwork there. So at least we got some in, and we've got things scheduled. And then you guys want to pop in and help volunteer, feel free. We can use a little bit of help, but not. I think we got it pretty well handled.
So I can come on the 16th, Bruce. I'm working on the 15th, but I can come in on the
Want to come in
16th.
on the 16th? That it might help.
Okay.
You can sign forms or draw or stab people, whatever.
Hold them down.
Yeah.
So how many residents are there altogether that still haven't been vaccinated that live in these areas? Do you know that off the top of your head, or is that something that's
No, I don't. It's hard to keep track. They don't do the with the vaccines. They don't get specific with each town. They're just showing. I want to say we probably have a third of the state vaccinated at this point. Of the the people 65 and above.
I think she's asking how many people are in Rentham Manor and Depot Court total.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
how many of those people have been inoculated?
Basically, we're looking at 80 doses for Rentham Manor. I'm not sure of the total count of Depot, but it's probably very similar.
Okay.
In addition to that, we'll be doing the staff, the housing staff.
Okay.
We should be able to use the entire 200 as it's opened and used.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because obviously you don't want any of it to go to waste. So
No,
there.
we have a backup list.
Okay. Good.
People that we can bring in. Some key staff and like that.
Yeah, I think they wanted to be sure that the senior center drivers were definitely included in that batch if possible.
Yes.
They're probably all over 65 as well. So
Well, they're essential. They're the ones driving our seniors around. So they are
correct,
essential.
correct.
Yeah, so it'd be the seniors and the drivers and anyone else who
And staff.
works.
And then we
over
have a small list of seniors via Josie that they're unable to travel over to the Gillette or something like that too. So we have a small list of people that can be transported to either Rentham or Depot Court. But the plan is to do it on site at each of the facilities.
Which shot is it? Pfizer?
Moderna.
Moderna.
So the
Do we get a
second
choice
round,
as to which one or no? Just curious.
okay, for the second round for these people, how they're gonna get it? It'll be a month later, 28
Yeah,
days.
28 days later, and we'll get another 200 doses. The
Okay,
Johnson & Johnson received their approval, so that's coming shortly. I don't know when we'll see any of it, but
So what did you say, Kelly? I'm sorry, you had a question, didn't you?
I did. I forget already. Sorry.
So Bruce, after we're done with this 200, it's a possibility that they'll send us another 200.
it's automatic. They'll send the second dose.
Oh, but not like another 200 on top of that. They're just gonna send us our second dose.
They'll send the second dose. Once we've gone through the first 200, I believe we can order more. That's my plan, is to try to keep ordering.
Yeah, sure.
Order, you have to have gone through what you have. So
Right.
as we go
Do they
through-
also supply those white immunization cards with the shot?
Yeah, the kit comes with the syringe, the card,
Okay.
the white Band-Aid. I mean, it's pretty.
Okay.
There's a few things it doesn't come with, but we did get with the grant money a lot of the items that we need, like the shops, dispensers, and some barrels, cones, flagging, all kinds of neat stuff.
okay, one last thing. Originally, we were approved for 1,200. It got cut to 200. Is there any chance of retrieving the?
Rini, the
No.
reason we have shots for the housing is because the shots were ordered through housing. Then
Oh,
give
okay.
local towns vaccine. So the reason those came through is because it was done through the housing development process. Because all the towns, any town that's putting it in is automatically getting kicked back 10, 15 minutes later. They're all being denied because they're not part of they're only giving out vaccine to anybody who's able to vaccinate 750 a day, 5 days a week. So none of the smaller towns are getting anything. It's
Okay.
the large vaccine clinic type of things at this point.
Okay, but that regional is considered to be, even though it's in southern Worcester County, it's not Norfolk County. It's still in our region too, and that will be the site.
It's nice because it's closer to a lot of people than Gillette.
Foxborough, right.
In Foxborough, and it opens up more or availability. So hopefully we can get people signed up and vaccinated.
Okay. The other
Is
thing,
that all that you have for the coronavirus updates, or is there anything else?
I mean, other than the numbers, are getting better. We're at 3.3 positivity rate in Bellingham. Massachusetts is at 1.7 positivity. There are 43 confirmed cases, 11 probable. We did pick up another death. So there's a total of 15 deaths. 94% of our people have recovered. So I mean, it's getting there. The governor went to phase 3, step 2, effective Monday or yesterday. Then they're looking at phase 4, I guess, on the 22nd. So a number of things are going to change. On the 22nd, the restaurants are now not limited on capacity, but limited on being able to socially distance again. Back to the tables being 6 feet apart and 6 people at a table.
and 90 minutes, I don't think people stay more than 90 minutes. But
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
We do have a few.
sort of one other quick thing. There was a stat out, I think it was 2 days ago. I don't know how it applies to Massachusetts, but it was done nationally. Supposedly in the under 50 group down to, let's say 5 years old. I don't think you can ask a 1-year-old, but whatever. Let's say down to 5, even then it's probably down to an age of consent, whatever. The adults in the country overall, I'd like to know what it is in Massachusetts, maybe you can find that out. 51% said they were not going to take the shot. And it didn't give it gave ages only, did not give ethnic groups, didn't give the real young millennial, like the 19s and whatever around that group. But
This is but even with that being said, Vinny, what I say to people, I'm like, just worry about yourself, right? Worry about the people that you're around, people that you're trying to protect. And then what other people choose is what they choose. I mean, as long as you feel comfortable with what you're doing, then who cares what everyone else wants to do?
Right. But here's the scoop. Right now, even though you've got a COVID card and you're vaccinated, you can't get it, but you can still give it to someone else. So
correct.
My comment is,
so make sure all your loved ones that you're worried about getting it is vaccinated.
right. I'm not really worried about that. Well, per se, I'm not. Like people who've had COVID, when can they get it? They're still susceptible? Probably not. Probably not.
They said 90 days, but now they're at 30 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
30 days. Yeah.
And is it recommended or is it mandated like everybody else, basically?
I'm sorry.
No, it's right. None of it's really mandated. It's recommended to everybody.
Right. Well, technically, you can't relieve a mask.
Always.
You can't relieve a mask order unless you have 90% or 80%. You got to have more than 80% of the population inoculated to relieve a mask order.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that high, but
Whatever. Okay.
I think it'll eventually disappear anyway. I mean, look at Texas.
Yes, Texas, Mississippi, and another state have removed it. Now they're allowing people to wear it, but I'm saying that because we will go with Massachusetts law or Bellingham law on masks. It depends on our inoculation rate. We're not going to know that.
I think at this point, we have to go with the state law because, you know, you just want to, if someone's in town and they're not wearing masks, they can't go into other places in Massachusetts,
Okay, fine. Okay,
right? Like that's all of Texas. It's not like a little town in Texas. It's all of Texas.
correct.
So I feel like it would have to be all of Massachusetts.
Right, but Massachusetts won't know unless they can, well, they're gonna take what, population statistics and the number of vaccines given to determine when they hit the 3/4 or 80% mark. That's called your herd immunity. So we need to get there
Right.
before we can relieve masks. Okay, that's fine. I'm done.
Okay. So, what's the next thing on the agenda?
Employee calendar.
Just, is it the March calendar?
Yeah, it's got the March calendar on it. Not a lot going on. Do we, Fish and I and Rob had a little bit of a conversation before logging on here, and we may want to consider putting a second meeting on the 16th. It's on the calendar. Something's come up that we probably want to post on the agenda and talk about. The state is looking at some new regulations regarding tobacco and tobacco fines.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we could probably say winter's over, so let's see if we have enough stuff to put on the 16th. If not, we could move it a week too. So, whatever.
Yeah, I think if we have enough stuff, then we should definitely have a meeting on the 16th. But if it's just to go over the laws, I think that we can wait until March, no?
I mean, it's on the calendar. If we want to, and there's enough stuff, then we can consider meetings. I mean, this agenda is very light. Although once the groundwater and snow and everything get normal, I think you're going to start to see a lot of septic repairs come in because groundwater is up, and anybody who's got a marginal system is going to feel it.
Yeah.
Yep. I kind of agree. Right now, it's all
Yeah,
frozen.
that's pretty much what we figured.
But I mean, that's typical every spring. Anybody who's got a system that's eking along will generally have trouble that time.
All right, so the next thing, there was a septic plan on here, but we're not doing that.
When I was away, I told Laura, anything that comes in, put it on the agenda. That way it's posted and on the agenda. That one did not require any waivers, so we pulled it.
Okay.
I just figured better safe than not be able to put somebody on if I, with my absence, because she had to put the agenda together when I was in Florida.
All right, and then
Goals.
the betterment loan authorization affidavit. Oh, wait, oh, sorry, goals, I skipped it.
Goals.
So cancer cases.
Laura's got, she had sent in something to the state and we're waiting to hear back from them to see if they've got any updated information on the cancer. So maybe we'll have something for the next meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I got the email from her on that. So that's good that she's on top of that.
It is. Yeah, I was happy to see that. So. Anyway. You're gonna do health agent?
Yeah, I mean, one tenant landlord case that's come up regarding a roof that's leaking that's caused some mold. Tenant is, adamant that it gets fixed, and the landlord says he'll fix it, but the tenant and the landlord are kind of being difficult at best, I guess is the word to say. If Vinny was able to go out and visually look at the site, it does have some mold that needs to be taken care of, although the landlord says he's willing to go in there and take care of it. So I guess maybe what we can do is send a letter to each of them, one to the landlord saying, okay, you've got so many days or 30 days to fix it, and one to the tenant saying that, according to the housing code, you need to work with the guy and let him in to fix it. So, I mean, That's my plan. I didn't know if there was anything special other than.
No, I think that that's perfect,
Okay.
because it covers both ends, right?
Yeah. I would,
And
the housing code, there's nothing in there relating to mold, but there is something, as far as the leak that's causing damage. So I mean, I'll quote the roof leaking and stating that it's caused, mold and dampness that's become a health hazard based off a letter that we received.
We
And
should also reach out to town council on these things. He's the one that knows the law best.
yeah, I mean, you could, but I think both sides are willing to work. It's just getting them to like each other again.
Well, I think there's something within the state guideline, I'm sure, that says how many days they have, though, no?
Yeah, no, it's in the, if you do a corrective order, which is what it's called, it's 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, Bruce, for me to add to that is, I started thinking about it, and I had a copy somewhere in the house. But it goes into minimum housing requirements, and then it says if there's either filth or if there's, even rain entering a structure or dirty air, it's considered an unhealthy condition.
Right, yeah.
Related to the structure. So whether the roof is leaking in water, the water's not considered clean.
When I go to write the letter tomorrow, it's based on an unhealthy condition under section 470 in the
Yeah.
so I can relate to that it's caused an unhealthy condition, and go that route. I wish they had more information in there regarding mold, because we ran into that with Annie over at the Charles as well.
Right.
But I mean,
yeah, but with her case, we
water
weren't really
getting
able to find anything like this one here. You can actually visually see that
you can see that
there's a health
damage.
issue.
It's either severe condensation coming in because there's a lack of insulation, or water's getting through the roof shingle somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, he got a letter from his doctor, so it's just our job to make sure that we're doing our part, and then, see what happens from there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like when the letters go out, I think what can happen is, Bruce can follow up to make sure that the owner says he's still, what he was doing before was giving, I can only do it on Friday and Saturday. Well, Saturday is not a normal work day for contractors. And, it's unreasonable to think you can do that in one day. You might be able to do it in 2, maybe 3, but the outside can be done prior to entering. But maybe you'd want to open up the inside and look at it and then say, I got to go outside, put plastic, fix the outside, then come back in, insulate, put the wall board up and finish it. So it very well could take 3 days plus. So.
Really, I was going to recommend that he tarp the roof, put a tarp over it, because I mean, if he's going to go in and pull the drywall down, and if the roof is still leaking, it's not going to resolve the problem until he stops the leak. So I mean,
whatever.
Correct.
Time to put the roof
You don't
shingles
tell
on.
them how to fix it, right?
Yeah.
It's just.
Right. No, I mean, the only issue with that's
the
true.
tenant is kind of curious on what he's going to do and how, and
Yeah. And is there still the grant available for people for roofs and stuff that have low income? Are those still available right now, Bruce? Or?
I'd have to check. I'm not sure if they still have funding or not, but I mean, I knew there were a couple other people that took advantage of that. Actually, one of the septic upgrades that was done was through that program. So.
Yeah, the other thing too with that is, I think it's the owner. If the owner's renting it, he may not be able to use it. And again, it'll be income based. So whoever in town.
But it's owner occupied. It's owner occupied, so they may be able to.
No, it's not owner.
No, it's not. The owner's renting.
Oh, it's not owner occupied?
No, it's a rental.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably not then.
The owner lives right around the area, but it's not the owner in there. He hasn't been in there for 6 years, so anyway.
All right, is there anything else on the agenda?
I had a question that when the rental thing came up, since we haven't been like in an actual meeting physically, we used to get the complaints log. How are those coming? Are there a lot of outstanding ones in there? Are we still maintaining it?
Yeah, no, we still keep the book as actually pretty good, other than maybe a few mostly complaints about people not wearing their masks. You know,
Okay. Well, those can be closed, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I'm looking at
typically
the
we
other
send
stuff
out-
that comes
every
in.
time we get a complaint, we send out our basic mask form letter along with the you know the we call state mandate and our order.
Yeah, that's all we can do for
Usually
that.
works pretty good, but I mean, most of the other, I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, we haven't even heard.
I only bring it up, Bruce, because Vinny had mentioned that landlord one had been an unresolved complaint from months ago. So I just wanted to make sure we were on top of the
It's
complaints
only
coming
been,
through and we're
in my
closing them out.
opinion, for like maybe 2-3 weeks. The guy called, I called the landlord several times and the landlord said he was gonna go over there and fix it, but the tenant and landlord are at odds on how he's gonna do it and when he's gonna do it. That's been most of the issue. Yeah.
We didn't send a letter out at that point though, right? So there's 30 days haven't started
No, I
yet?
mean, I called the landlord, he said, yeah, I'll go over and fix it. And then the tenant's giving him a hard time about when he can come in and fix it. And then the tenant is concerned about how he's gonna fix it. He wants to be sure that he's gonna take extra precaution and he feels, I mean, if we're gonna talk about it in depth here, the tenant seems to believe that there's asbestos involved. Well, when you need one over there, I don't, he says.
No, there is not. I'm gonna be 100% sure. The test is out now. It's costing them like $800, but it should be back. I thought he said by Friday, the latest. So,
Do we have a form letter already for these 30-day notices that they have
No,
to make, right?
I've got to put a letter together.
Yeah. That way, when you go out for the first time and you
I
see a
think, like,
violation,
Kelly's-
you just send the form letter out.
I think Kelly's, like Kelly said, though, maybe have town council just write up a standard letter for us. Because it is kind of, what do you think?
I think so.
Let me take a stab at it. I don't think it's that difficult.
No,
I mean, basically.
I'm just saying, like,
the
for
last-
legal
The
purposes.
last
you
couple
know.
other ones I've sent out there, I mean, I quote the code of what is coming across and tell them that, you know, they need to work out and get it.
Sometimes it's good to delegate, especially when it's illegal, but
Yeah.
it's your call.
don't put that legalese hat on. Okay. got it.
I mean, the landlord is, I mean, Vinny talked to him too, has been
Yeah.
sincere about wanting to get in there and fix it, so I don't think it's, I think it's,
I got a different perspective when I talked to the landlord. You know, I had the let's say I don't know, whatever you call it, the luckiness of having to talk to both. And, you know, one was after the inspection. And then certain other things I didn't know, you know, obviously were not divulged by the renter. One thing I did say to both of them is the place is pretty clean. You know, you go into a house that's got a problem, usually you think of, oh, I'm gonna have a hoarder or some other kind of situation where, you know, you worry about the leaking roof, but then you look at it and you say, the place is a mess, you know? It isn't, it was very clean. There was a $400 to $600 air handler in there, which is a very high-end HEPA filter device. The landlord bought that. I didn't realize that. So,
Oh,
yeah, the landlord bought that.
I'll see that.
Yeah, the reason, well, I'll
Like
just give you,
Bruce said, there's always two sides to every story,
correct.
especially in these kind of
The
situations.
reason why he's been putting up with this way before COVID, his wife had a situation when she was younger, her and her siblings were in, what do you call, like, what do you call that housing that's, you know, like housing that's run by slumlords. And they got moved around, kicked around, lived in filthy conditions. So she is the kind person in a relationship. She's keeping her husband back from saying, hey, you know, he's abusing our rental thing, you know, and in terms of like complaining only in the last 2 years, but and not getting his ability for his contractors to get into that. I didn't know that. See, so, you know, so I said, okay. I said, well, let's work it out. And then
Well, I mean, sending
I
out the
talked to Bruce, I
letters,
said, we'll get it done.
sending out the letters and following up with it. I mean, that's all we can do at this time
Correct.
on our. anyway.
I agree.
All right, so then the next thing on the agenda is the authorization affidavit.
Can we do health agent first? I got a question for Robbie.
Oh, did I skip Bruce again?
No, Robbie. You know, the other health agent.
Oh, oh. For food or tobacco
Tobacco.
or both?
No,
Okay.
tobacco. Well, he is both, but I only have a tobacco question. Based on the CBD information from the last meeting, Robbie, do we have
Yeah.
anything new on that or not?
We are, so currently one of the larger departments I'm working with is Framingham's Metrowest Tobacco Division. So
Good.
they are sending it to their council before I kind of get it back to some of the smaller towns because where they speak for, I think 15 or 16 communities. Once I can kind of get it past there, it'll be all set. Ours is pretty much written the way that it will be. So once everyone else starts adopting it, we'll kind of figure out what day that will be. And then we can obviously vote and figure
Okay.
that out. The only difference is so far is that Bellingham appears to be the only one that is having the card reader requirement.
Okay.
And a lot of them are actually designating them as adult only retailers in kind of their own little sector as opposed to doing a separate permit. So they're making it so that if they are selling CBD products, they can only sell CBD products.
Okay. I don't know if we want to do that, do we? I don't think so. We don't want another adult only, or certainly, right?
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
No,
I-
not that though, but we had, you know, there's some people that sell it and feel like they make a good amount of money off of it.
Well, that's
So we don't
my,
want to take it away from them too.
right, that's my next question. So the products that cannot be sold in section two, whatever, let's say 5B, and then you go below to 7, can those be sold if you incorporate requiring a permit, age restriction, prohibiting, or is that not? It's separately, right? It's,
Just so I know, where are you looking?
okay,
Vin?
I'm looking at the cast members, laws regulating the sale of hemp-derived products and
Yeah.
CBD in Massachusetts.
So are you asking if we have a permit, if it would allow them to sell them?
Yes,
No. So
okay.
basically, that is
So
just their
it's-
enforcement strategy.
okay. So it's for 5A, all those conditions you're allowed to sell. The
Yep.
permit and the other stuff is in 7 is only for 5A. It will not include 5B.
That is correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. So I guess when Framingham responds back, we will figure out, you know, a date for that thing that Cheryl wrote for us months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone currently is aiming for July 1st, but obviously with everything going on with COVID too, it's kind of on the back burner for a lot of people. So, but the goal is July 1st.
Well, we'll also start a new fiscal year, so it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, is that it? Vinny,
That's it.
for questions?
Nope, I'm done. Thank you.
All right, so the next thing on the agenda is the authorization affidavit.
I don't see that in our package, though. Do we have that in the package?
No, I think if we look at our past meeting minutes, we requested that we have an authorization affidavit in
Right.
with our loan package. So every
Wasn't that
time
supposed to be
someone,
drafted?
yeah, it's got to be drafted by legal, I guess.
Oh, I thought that's why it was on the agenda, so we could review it.
We're always working with town council. We haven't,
Okay,
I mean, usually we just leave it on the agenda until we're complete.
Right.
So I mean, once we have something and we review it, then
Right, right.
it'll.
but once that's written, we'll be able to attach it with the other documents.
Yeah.
And it'll eliminate the 2 signature rule, which seems to be in only 1 or 2 towns in this region. So,
And we don't have 12 Squire Lane to review. That was,
What, 12 Squire did not require a waiver.
okay.
Like I said, being away, I told Laura that any septics come in, put it put it on the agenda and I'll sort it out before the meeting.
Okay. Mm,
Sounds good. Someone want to make a motion to adjourn then?
I'll make a motion to
We have no
adjourn.
bills, nothing?
No bills.
Where's all our bills?
We're saving our money.
We paid them all. We can do a blank check though, Van, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, I'll second the motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah,
Good night.
see you on the 16th, maybe.
Just give me a call later. We'll coordinate for the 16th, okay?
Yeah, do you want me to call you right now?
No. I gotta go eat.
Close. Okay, go eat.
See you later.
All right.
See you
bye.
later.